Hi everyone and welcome to my live. I'm coming to you on Friday the 3rd of September at 12 o'clock. So this is my now new time slot, Friday afternoon. So I hope everyone is well and joining me again this week. So last week on Friday I did my first live after a while, so just returning now. So I'll be doing my lives on Friday at 12 o'clock and Tuesdays at 6 o'clock. So they're my new times I'll be doing my lives. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Rhonda Kelly. I'm clairvoyant, psychic medium. I basically do readings with all my clairs. I hear, see, smell, feel, taste. So I'll get lots of different messages. And during the lives, I do psychic readings. So if you would like a reading, please like and share the video. I know it's a different time slot, so people are sort of getting used to that. But if you can like and share and just let me know that you've done that, we'll be able to see as well. But that's if you'd like to be considered for a free reading. And my reading prices have reduced during COVID. So if you look on my website, it's just flashing down the bottom there. It's rondasreadings.com. I do have discounted readings during COVID, and that's going to stay up for a few months. It'll stay at those prices just while everyone's in lockdown. If you're in Sydney or Melbourne or wherever or Victoria, wherever you're watching from in Australia or the world, you're obviously affected by COVID. In Australia here we are in lockdown, so it means we can't actually do much. So I've reduced my readings as a way of keeping in contact with people. I also have a virtual reading room for my Ocean Wing Psychic and Spiritual Fairs. So if you came to that event in April, I have started hosting psychic fairs myself. Just because of COVID, I've had to cancel all my dates for the rest of the year. So that was a shame. I had Halloween one planned and I had a Christmas one planned. I even had a Santa plan. So I've actually cancelled that. But I do have the Ocean Wings virtual reading room on Thursday, the 23rd of September to Sunday, the 26th of September. So they're from 10 till 7. And what I am doing during the lives is having people come on that are going to be doing readings during the lives. So if you're wanting to see what's on offer, that will be on Tuesday nights typically. It'll be once a week. So this week I had Kimberly, who did a reading on me, which was quite interesting. And next week, I've actually got Kelly, who's an animal communicator. So if you have any animal questions, stay tuned next Thursday at 12 o'clock. So that's really doing animal reading. So I like to have readers that offer different types of reading. So I've got someone coming in that does runes readings. Basically, sort of he's made his own little rocks. So that's quite interesting. And obviously with psychics and mediums, they use different tools. So it's whatever sort of resonates with you is what you should go with. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Heartslave. Joe. Hi. How are you? Okay, so I've got more people watching, but only a few people have said hello. So please like and share if you'd like to. Thank you so much. Yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, Rhonda's Readings, please like and subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, please like and share if you'd like a reading. So for those of you who watched my first live back on... Oh, great. Thank you. So for those of you who watched my first live last Friday, you would have noticed that I am doing it in a different format. Part of what I'm doing is a book review, a spiritual book review. I woke up one night really excited thinking I'll do a Facebook group, but no one's thought of it, and there are about half a dozen there. So people have already thought of doing spiritual book reviews, but the groups are really interesting. They're sort of... some hadn't had posts for a long time, so I thought I'll do it. I won't do it in a post format. I'll do it in a video format, so it's a bit more interactive, and then I can actually have people ask me questions and that sort of thing. So the one that I'm doing today is reviewing Harry T's Energies of the Soul Oracle cards. So that's what I'll be reviewing today, and I will also be doing my readings using Harry's cards. So I'm kind of putting myself on the spot by doing that, and I hope I do Harry's cards justice, because I've known Harry for about 15 years and absolutely love him. He's gorgeous. He's now hosting PTV Australia Thursday night live. So if you haven't seen that, that's Harry T. There is a photo of him on his card, so that's him just there. So I hope I do okay by using his cards to do readings. So that's what I'll be doing. So my doing lives is threefold. The purpose is to do some free live readings and give you an update about what I'm doing. I also am doing spiritual book reviews. So that means oracle cards, books, audio tapes, whatever is a sort of an uplifting or a spiritual book or audio tape or whatever that is. So if you have any ideas of what you want me to review, if you've read a book that oh, thank you, Lisa. You're happy. You'd love to know what you think of Harry's cards. Okay, so I'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, so if you have any books or anything that you've heard of or you've read or you've either liked or not liked or you'd like my opinion of it, please recommend them to me. You can send me a post. You can look on my website, rhondasreadings.com. I've got contact section on the webpage. So my email is psychicmediumrhonda@outlook.com. I'm on Instagram at Psychic Rhonda Kelly. I'm on Twitter at Psychic Rhonda, I think it is. YouTube, Rhonda's Readings. That it's best to, on my website, I've got my phone number. I'm on WhatsApp, so it's best to contact me directly or leave a post on my Facebook group, Facebook page, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly, and let me know what book you'd like me to look at. So that's for the book review. Another thing I talked about last Friday, if you viewed, so I know there's a few of you there that watched me last Friday. I actually asked what to cook with sage. So I basically had a really kind neighbour give me some sage, and she gave it to me for the purpose of cooking. And I thought that's wonderful, but I didn't actually know what to do with it. And I even tasted the leaf, crushed it up a bit, and it tasted kind of bitter, like I'm not even used to the taste of it or smell of it. I didn't know what to cook with it. And obviously there's a spiritual purpose to using sage. There's, you know, you can burn sage, you can do spells with sage and things like that. And I actually, so I actually sort of looked at a sort of a little spell book during last Friday's live, but I didn't see a what exactly to do with it. But that's basically, I'm just going to show the picture. So let me have a look. I'm trying to show the picture that I've got here. No, I do have some photos uploaded, and I haven't actually looked at photos yet on StreamYard, so I'm trying to do that. Okay, what I'm going to do is just remove my sound. That's basically what I cooked with my sage. So that was kind of an exciting thing to do. It was just kind of just something different that I hadn't thought of cooking with, but I wanted to find something with it. So thank you. I think it was Lisa. I don't know if it was you who suggested. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, the Phil Show. Can I get Psychic DAB? I don't know what that means, the Phil Show. So you're watching on Twitch, I think. So I'm broadcasting to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So I don't know what DAB means. If you can let me know what that means, Phil. So that's basically what I did. With my sage, I made a sage pasta and a sage sauce. So that's what I did. Alrighty, so that's the recipe component of what I did. What I'm going to do now, which you're probably pleased with, Lisa, is give you a bit of a review of the oracle cards. So these I brought from Booktopia. These oracle cards are by Harry T. And they're absolutely beautiful cards. These are the size of them, so it fits nicely in your hand. And they're all very clear. They're beautiful cards. They're not too big to hold. I really like the size of the cards. And they just... I just had goosebumps when Harry first showed me, and when before I even opened the packet. It was quite funny. I ordered them from Booktopia, and I got them in a massive, like an A3 size envelope, and it was only this big. So I thought that was strange, but anyway, that was fine. So they're actually at the moment, or when I brought them just a couple of weeks ago, they were reduced and they had free shipping. So it was only about $23 or something. So it's quite good value for a set of decent oracle cards. So that's a big tip with the cost of it. So I look at the cost, I look at the ease of using them, and I also look at how sort of effective they are. So that's how I rate books when I do a book review. So Harry's actually called Energy of the Soul cards. I haven't read the whole book yet, but I've flicked through it. But basically, he's looked at the the 7 main chakras, the 7 main energy centers of the body, and he's basically looking at, like, he's written down words that encompass in everyday life, like, health, self-empowerment, healing, communication, like just words that are relevant to the, thousands of readings that he's done, and he's put them in the chakra systems. So that's really interesting. So you've got 7 red, 7 orange. So if you imagine going, actually I'll start from the top. So to go from top to bottom. So he's got 7 purple, 7 blue. So 7 purple for this chakra. So he's got 7 blue for the throat chakra, 7 green for the heart chakra, 7 yellow for solar plexus, and then 7 orange and 7 red going down to the root chakra. So like the sacral root. So that's the way he's done it, and it's really interesting. The words do align for the chakra systems, but some of them I feel like have a bit of an overlap. Like, for what makes you grounded, for example, you've got home, support, work. So they're all abundance, nature. So they're all important for the root chakra, but I also felt like some of the words were a bit overlap, but that might just be my interpretation. So that was what I found. It's also interesting the way he's laid out the cards. So he's got the numbers and he's got words. So I did talk about last week with reading cards that what you do is you do a reading. So in my playlist on Rhonda's readings of Rhonda's teachers, I do talk about how to do psychic readings. So, practice what you're comfortable with getting confident. And, if you're stronger in clairvoyance, then do clairvoyant games, psychic games that really practice your clairvoyance. So that's interesting with the cards. So the cards, you look at that card. So if people can look at this card as an example, tell me what you're drawn to. Are you drawn to the word home? Are you drawn to the picture? Or are you drawn to the number, or are you drawn to the words? Because that's really interesting in itself of what you're actually drawn to. So just let me know if you're drawn to the number or the picture or the actual word. Yeah, so Heart Slave Joe, they're not tarot cards, they're oracle cards. I'm just doing a review of the energies of the soul oracle cards. So they are using the chakra system. So the picture. So Lisa's more drawn to the picture. So that's really interesting. So that's sort of telling you kind of like what, if you were to pick a pack of oracle cards, that have all of this, that have so Lisa again says the pictures and Jennifer says the pictures. Yeah, so that's really interesting for when you purchase your own oracle cards. You basically would be drawn to the picture. And I try to do that as well. I try not to look at the words I try not to analyze it. I try to get whatever's going to inspire my intuitive ability. Like if you're someone who's going to look at a number and then become analytical or mathematical, then that's going to block your intuition. So that you shouldn't do that. But if you're someone who looks at a person and gets numbers, then you should really look at, so Jennifer said, and the eye, so that would be the numbers. So Jennifer, if you were doing a reading, you would actually look at the numbers and you would be drawn to that. You would get a message through that. So Heart Slave Joe thinks she's more drawn to the picture. Yeah, okay. Yeah, interesting. I mean, they're really beautiful cards because they're so they're so crisp and clean. Like the imagery is beautiful. It's really simple, but I find that simple is more powerful. And you might have a different preference. You might like an oracle card that okay, Leslie, sure. So it might be an oracle card that has, fairies or, something make believe or something like that triggers your clairvoyance. So that's really interesting in itself. But basically he's done the cards in each sort of chakra. So whatever, if you pick out this one, for example, with the green chakra, with the heart chakra, then it's forgiveness. That's the message. So I think that's absolutely beautiful. And then he's got some rainbow cards that sort of are a bit more overlapping the chakras and more about the higher lessons or sort of clearer sort of guidance kind of thing. So yeah, I do really like the cards. I haven't actually done a reading yet with the cards, but I do like what he's doing. And he does explain about the chakra systems in his little book, and he explains about each card as well, kind of thing. The way I do readings though is I do a few first and then I read the book. I never read the book. I read the information about the layouts and what they suggest and how to use them, but I never actually read the book until after I do a few readings, because I like to kind of make sure that I'm putting my spin on it first rather than doing a reading trying to think of how someone else would do the reading, if that makes sense. Yeah, so that's basically what I did. So I've shown you my sage recipes. I've just reviewed these. I haven't done readings myself, but did anyone have any questions about them? Or does anyone have them? Okay, so Leslie has said, yeah, so yeah, it does look really cool. Okay. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do, so if you've subscribed to my YouTube channel and if you've liked and shared the Facebook page, what I'll get you to do is, if you have any questions, yeah, they do look pretty and simple, don't they, Lisa? They really they feel nice as well energetically. It's quite, and I love the way Harry does readings. Before I've not had a reading with him after he's done the cards, but before he did the cards, he's very direct, but he's also very compassionate, and his messages and the specifics he gets with Harry T, it's just it's really spot on. If you do look on the P2V Australia website, Harry was actually in an interview with James van der Praag, and I forget the lady's name, but he did actually talk about his cards. So there's a bit more information about that as well. Okay, so yeah. So Leslie likes the rainbow. Okay, so all right, I'll start my first reading with the cards. Natalie said, "Hi Rhonda, I have a date tonight. Will we want a second date?" Okay, I'm feeling a yes to that. I'm just going to pick out one card per. Okay, just going to pick out one card to this. So this is the card I pulled for you was Natalie, was dreams. So number 40, and it's visions, manifesting, and imagination. That's interesting because I'm picking up that you're going to have fun on a date, and there's something a bit childlike. You know when you have a connection to an old school friend and it feels like sort of childlike, you almost laugh at things you did to school teachers and that sort of thing. That's actually what it feels like, Natalie. So that's interesting that I picked out dreams, because there is a playfulness energy about that, and that's so it's more sort of about the expansion So I do feel like you'll enjoy your date tonight, and I feel like there'll be a second date. I do also feel a bit of, I feel almost a bit of anxiety in speaking. I feel like it almost feels, Natalie, like you've not had a sort of a meaningful connection for a while, or you've not sort of spoken in that way for a while. So I feel like you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy that connection, is what I feel, Natalie. So thank you for that. Okay, so my first reading using Harry's cards. I've shuffled them up. Okay, so I've got so Heart Slave Joe, thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. So is Heart Slave Joe asks, is Jackson thinking about, so that was Natalie that I had. This is Heart Slave Joe. Is Jackson thinking about giving me a love offer or his feelings towards me? I haven't heard back from him yet since I congratulated him. Okay, I am feeling hesitation, actually. Okay, that doesn't. Okay, so it's trusting your instincts, I feel. I pulled out one, but another one came out. So the card I pulled for that is balance, and the card that fell out is harmony. So they're both the solar plexus chakra, like the intuition. I'm actually feeling like you trust your intuition, but I don't feel that Jackson does. There's something a bit out of balance with, and my left ear is ringing, tuning into Jackson's ear. I'm feeling like, I do feel like your words were kind and heartfelt, and I felt like they were appreciated. But I'm drawn to a male around Jackson that sort of shakes his confidence a bit, and I feel like he talks. It's like he imposes his limitations on him. So I'm feeling a bit of hesitation in you having that connection. And if you know who this male is around Jackson that has that effect on him, make a point of speaking to Jackson alone, saying, do you have a minute? And I feel like this guy's not going to like it. There's something media related to Jackson, and it's like there's a bit of a professional jealousy around this male, and he's wanting to sort of either limit Jackson, but I'm also seeing someone taking a photo of Jackson, and I'm seeing this guy jumping in front of him, like just before the photo splashes, but then getting out of the way. So there's something a bit, I don't really like his energy. The friend of Jackson, I don't like his energy. So yeah, I feel like there's a bit of hesitation, but I feel like there will be a discussion of his feelings towards you once this other male's out of the way. So thank you for that. Alrighty, Lisa. So you're happy for me to try the cards on you? Okay, let me shuffle the cards. Oh, we have lots of pseudonyms tonight. So Heart Slave Joe is Joanna. Jennifer is Leslie. Okay, so Joanna. Thanks, Joanna. Thanks for that. All right. So, okay. Lisa, the card I pulled for you is creativity. So it's the throat chakra. Creativity, music, writing, expressing. I'm drawn to the expression more so. I feel like you don't express yourself musically or through writing, but there's some other way of saying it. You've got an interesting energy, Lisa. I feel, a natural mediator. Like you kind of like resolve problems that people are having, and you sort of, it's kind of like you see solutions that other people don't see. Like, and that's, it's almost like you don't have an ego, like you don't have a big ego, or you just will walk into a room and leave part of your ego behind. There's something unusual about, or not unusual, I think it's beautiful. I think you're, there should be more people like that, but there's something creative about it. And I am actually drawn to you. It's interesting with the writing music, but I'm told it'll be music to people's ears, but I'm feeling like you're going to, you're working on a project, and I'm seeing you collaborating, but I feel like you need to take charge a bit in that. And it's almost like a self-help thing. And I'm also seeing you writing protocols and that sort of thing. So it's around work, but I'm also feeling that you've got a spiritual side around work. So, Lisa, if you could let me know what you do and how that sort of resonates with you. But I do see a bit of creativity in you sort of expressing your voice. And I'm feeling like you're going to have that being a leadership role in that role. So I hope that makes sense to you, Lisa. Oh, thanks, Joanna. Yeah, so that was yes. I do feel like he's jealous of him liking you, because you're detracting the attention away from him. Okay, so Lisa said that's true. I'm a dressmaker and sort out people's problems whilst I do a fitting for them. Yeah, beautiful. I'm being told that you're the counsellor, so that's really interesting. And I do I'm seeing that movie, Lisa, not the dressmaker. What's it called? The Help, I think it's called, and it's basically about these sort of black women that someone publishes a story of their stories, and it's all really dysfunctional. But I can see you kind of doing something like that, but not breaking confidentiality, but almost like a self-help of just keep it simple. Whether it's like Tales from a Dressmaker or something like that. So that's really interesting. Yes, so definitely the counsellor. Yeah, absolutely. But it is very creative what you say. And I know that's difficult to sort of gauge or say to a person. You can't really sort of stop and go up to a person and say, hey, when I said this, did this help? Because chances are you said that, they said that to you at a time when they weren't around the people they're with, kind of thing. So, yeah, but just have a think about that, and I feel like it will make sense, and you'll write something about that. Alrighty, so okay, so we've got a practical joker. So just kidding about calling me Leslie. Jennifer says so. Jennifer or Leslie, you you like the numbers. Okay, so what that means for you is that if you were to do a psychic reading on someone, like literally, and this is what I say when I teach. So I will be posting up workshop dates starting next month as well, starting October. So I'm just doing kind of like a term 4 this year. But one of the first exercises I get people to do is just tune into the energy of me or someone else and write down, what comes to mind. So just you relax, clear the mind, you tune in, and then you write down what you get. So that's the first exercise I get. So if you're drawn to the numbers on the cards, what that means for you is that if you do that exercise and get nothing, what I would then get you to do is just look at the person and tell me what number comes to mind. And then once you get that number, then do that exercise. So if you're drawn to numbers, then that's a reason, and that's something that can help connect with your psychic abilities. All right, so does that make sense, everyone? All right, so I'll answer your question, Jennifer, by pulling out one of Harry's cards. Should or will I get a cat soon? I feel you should. Okay, I'm told to pull out 2 cards with you. Okay, yeah, I feel that you should. It's almost a bit of, it feels like it's the time to make a stand around getting a cat. And it's interesting because I pulled out a throat chakra one, and my throat is starting to close up. Like I feel like I'm just feeling like you've not. It almost feels like as a child you wanted a cat, but you didn't speak up, or you said something and you weren't listened to, but you didn't keep saying it. So I'm feeling like getting a cat is very empowering for you to speak your truth and get the cat. And I'm feeling like the cat's going to be like a mirror image of you, so it's going to really suit your personality, kind of thing. And I'm also seeing you kind of not wanting to, like avoiding situations or not wanting to go out in situation, but I feel like the cat will drop the keys on the floor or sort of push you out the door kind of thing, like almost like the cat's going to kick you up the bum when you need it. So that's interesting. I've got the throat chakra one, gratitude. So that's appreciation, kindness, recognition, number 34. And I also picked up that getting a cat would be empowering for you. So we've got the solar plexus chakra, number 21, belief, confidence, and liberated for self-improvement. So that's really interesting. That was spot on with what I picked out, and I got told to pick out 2 for you. So yeah, not should you get a cat, but you will get a cat soon. And it's even interesting the way you've asked that question, should I or will I? It's almost like, well, I want a cat, but should I really, kind of thing. So there's information in that as well. Alrighty, so how are people liking the cards so far? I really like them. I think it's they're really cute and sweet. Like they're really easy to hold and to shuffle. And I'm an unorthodox psychic in that I'm not great at shuffling cards because I don't always use cards. So I've just had one card fall out, and I've been told that that's for the next one I'm going to do. So let me know what you think of the cards. Yeah, beautiful. A cat for healing. Absolutely. Oh, that's this one, cat for healing. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, so Lisa's definitely the counsellor. Thank you for the validations. Sometimes they will phone for advice on her personal life without any sewing involved. That's hilarious. That's funny. Actually, I think the lady who altered my wedding dress was a bit of a counsellor as well. She was kind of like, oh, how you feel about the wedding and all this. I said, yeah, fine. So I didn't require any counselling, but that was interesting that she kind of naturally had that energy about her that it was kind of like, tell me your problems, that sort of thing. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Beautiful. So the cards are accurate for you. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, the cards are beautiful and clear. So, Karen, just to answer your question, I am doing this as part of my spiritual book review. So by books, I mean any sort of media. So I've got some oracle cards. It's called Energies of the Soul Oracle Cards by Harry T. So Harry, you should know from Psychic TV Australia. So he was one of the originals. So he was on it sort of like 2001. And then I think 2001 to, 2011, I think it was, to, I don't know, about 2015 or something. I think he left, and I started 2016. So I was on when we were on TV, and then I was on again when we did the other stint of TV. So unfortunately, I didn't overlap with him on TV, but I knew him through Mind, Body, Spirit fairs and that sort of thing. I've been attending them for about 15 years, so I've known him through that. I used to do the bookings for Francis Bevan, if you know who Francis is. Oh, beautiful. So Karen saw them online last night. Yeah, so that would have been through the Harry hosts the Thursday night Psychic TV ones where he has special guests. I've already been on a couple with him, so that's really awesome. So we take turns with all the psychics, and we do these readings as well. Okay, so I've kind of lost my spot, but that's okay. So I'll be doing spiritual book reviews here during my lives. So I'm doing my lives now Thursday at 12 o'clock and Tuesday at 6 o'clock. So rather than just doing readings, I'm mixing it up a bit. So part of it's the spiritual book review, and part of it also is meeting people who are going to be at my Ocean Wings virtual reading room. So that's Thursday 23rd to Sunday the 26th of September from 10 till 7. So you've already met Kimberly, who's going to be doing readings on the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And next week you'll be meeting Kelly, who's an animal communicator. So she, it's really quite interesting what she does. So I like to have, if you attended my event in April in DY, you would have noticed that people in the reading room, I have people that do quite different readings from each other. So that's my aim, to get sort of to give you quite a broad variety of people to pick readings from. So that's also what I'll be doing during my lives. And next week, I believe I've got Callie coming on Friday. So that's coming up next week. All right, so I'll head back to the comments and see. So thank you for your feedback. Also, let me know where you're watching from as well. Thanks, Vanessa. Have a great day. Yeah, I miss being in the PTV studio as well. But you know, you can still call us, do the phone calling through the PTV system. I also do readings directly. So, and my readings are reduced due to COVID. So if you look on my website that's running across the screen, rhondasreadings.com, you'll be able to see my shop section of what I offer. South Coast of New South Wales, beautiful, thank you. Okay, so as I was looking at the cards before, one actually fell out and I was told that's for my next reading. So I'm just going to scroll and see who the next one is. So I hope you like my new StreamYard setup. So basically, this means that I can broadcast to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and I only look at the one screen. I don't have to look at my phone and my laptop. So that's what I was doing when I was doing Facebook Lives and YouTube Lives. And it also meant that people on each one couldn't actually see the comments. So it probably didn't make a lot of sense in that unless I said your name. You couldn't actually see the other name. So with this way, you can actually see everyone's name. Okay. Yeah, so I've got good feedback from the cards, and I love them as well. They're great. So I actually did a card reading on myself as well, and that was accurate. So that was really interesting. Okay, so I believe my next reading is Nicole Plant. Hi, Nicole. And this card was one that pulled out. Okay, interesting. Oh, goosebumps. Okay. What can you tell me about my relationship with my mother in the living, please and thank you? Yeah, it's interesting. It's your mum is a bit fickle. I feel like what she says to you isn't necessarily what she says to other people. So I'm feeling like it doesn't feel like she wants to play games, but I'm just feeling like she is used to being a certain way and it's not going to change. So the card I pulled for you, Nicole, the card that actually fell out and I was told for the next reading, is protection. So that's a really interesting one. So I love the imagery of that. It's almost like, you know, it's kind of like a third eye, but it's also kind of like, you know, don't make yourself a target. So that's really interesting in itself. So it's protection, it's shield, evil eye, and boundaries. So the word I'm the word I'm drawn to with your mum is boundaries. And I feel like you're never going to establish boundaries because you're never going to change. But that's what I'm feeling about your mum. And I feel like she's kind of not as mindful of what she's doing, whether she's got a bit of a mental break or what that is, but there's something around her not even knowing what she's doing. So I do feel like setting up boundaries with your mum, Nicole. But I don't even feel like I need to give you any more advice on that because I feel like there's been so much going on. And also don't listen to other people, just sort of listen to your own inner voice, like of what's happened. And if there's any sort of mistruths or something, that's okay, because, you know, just like acknowledge that it makes you feel pissed off or whatever that is, and like just say it, I'm not happy that this happened, and let it go. But then sort of have that protection for yourself. And I feel like just, you know what's happened. So that's the main thing. Thank you, Nicole. Oh, interesting. Beautiful. Thank you. So interesting. The protection card came up. Totally resonates. Thank you for that. Yeah. And I actually feel like your situation with your mum is very similar to mine with my mum. And it's almost harder to understand than not, because, you know, you just got to let it go. So, but it was interesting that when I got the protection one, it just gave me goosebumps with my situation. So that's interesting. Okay, so Lisa's in Ringwood. Hi, I grew up in Clayton, so I'm living in Sydney at the moment, but I'm from Melbourne. And Karen's from South Coast. Okay. So let me... Okay, so we've got a troll here. So please ignore people who are trying to solicit readings from you. I don't allow people to join and try to tell you to inbox them for a reading. So there has been one, and I've just blocked them and deleted their comments. So just let me deal with that troll. Sorry, I'm just doing that. Oh, not sure. Okay. Yep. Beautiful. Yeah. So Nicola said, would not surprise me that she has some sort of personality disorder. Yeah, I'm feeling like it's a bit more simple than that, Nicole. It's just, it's control. It's kind of like just wanting to be in control, and it's almost like confusing people or having people sort of not understanding what's going on, or having conflict between people gives her control because she's the only one that knows what's going on. So that's what it feels like, more so than kind of like personality disorder. That's what I'm picking up. Like it's sort of a bit more simple than that, I feel. Okay, so hopefully I've deleted all the comments from the troll. Sorry for anyone who was given a reply asking for a reading. Yeah, so we're not alone. We've all got, well, not all, but some of us have dysfunctional mums. Any idea when Melbourne will be out of lockdown? It's been extended again till the end of September. I feel like it'll be extended again. Yeah, so the card I got is reflection. It's kind of, I don't feel like the situation is going to get as bad as in Sydney, in Melbourne. It almost feels like it's either going to be extended again, or you're going to have a break, but then there'll be an extension, and then things will open up for Christmas, is what I feel. So, yeah, that's what I'm feeling, and that's really awful. And I can't visit my mum and give her a cuddle, so she's so that really sucks, not being able to go interstate. Yeah, but that's what I'm picking with that. Okay, I did have a couple more questions, and I can't seem to find them. So bear with me. I'm just looking at if you have asked a question and I haven't read for you, please repost it again. Okay. So with the cat reading I did for Jennifer or for Leslie, is who else finds animals healing? Who has a cat or dog or anything strange, or not strange, but any sort of pet that they find healing? If you do, let me know what your pet is and what about them you find healing, because that's sort of leading up to my next guest for my psychic fair, who's an animal communicator. But yeah, just because it's interesting. I've actually read books on how to communicate with animals and looking at telepathy and body language of animals, and it is really interesting. It's quite detailed. Like I got quite a lot out of it, and I do house and pet sit as well, and it's just very interesting. I used to always assume that anxious people would have anxious dogs or anxious cats. Like I thought the animal learned that from the human, but it's not necessarily the case. So I've kind of changed about how I perceive animals as well. Okay, let me have a look. Okay, so I can't find. Yeah, I did. Thank you for letting me know that, Jennifer, the spammer. I'm just deleting the comment and blocking that. So yeah, apologies for anyone who's been solicited for a reading. I think I might have blocked someone by mistake. So sorry about that. If well, if I've blocked you, you won't be watching. But I was blocking the spammer, and I think I did that. Okay, so I'm going to answer another question for Joe. Do you think he misses me or sees me as a kind-hearted person? Yes, I do feel like he sees you as a kind-hearted person. The missing you, I'm feeling again because this was the connection with the guy in his ear, wasn't it? I'm feeling like doesn't always miss you. So that's interesting. Okay, so thank you for that. Thank you for letting me know, Jennifer. I did block him. Alrighty, so okay, so I do have, yeah. So Joe has cats and dogs and finds them very healing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really interesting. But Kelly actually looks at all sorts of issues going on with like the personality of the animal and the connection and how to work with that. And they basically talk to her and tell her what's going on, what they don't like, or what they like, and what makes them happy or sad. So that's really interesting. Okay, so we've got Karen who's said, I would like to get another cat. I had a reading from an animal communicator who said my last cat was going to help me with healings. Beautiful. Do you see me getting with another cat soon? Okay. Just as I tune into that, I just had sore shoulders and sore neck, and I don't know what that means. Okay, that's interesting. Because I do feel like you're going to get another cat, but not soon. And the card I pulled out with that was fear. So that's the heart chakra, the green, anxiety, temper, jealousy. So because I don't feel like it's your fear. I actually feel like it's fear of the cats you've got, or the energy of if you've had a recent cat and you no longer have the cat in a place. It's almost like another cat would take the territory. And I don't know whether you've moved cushions and beds. I'm seeing the sleeping quarters of the pets having been moved, and I feel like that's something about the way, like the position in the house where they sleep. Because I'm actually seeing another cat being brought in for you to see if it's suitable, but I don't feel like that cat is, and I'm getting and it feels like a female cat, and I'm getting fear with that cat. I actually feel like the way they sleep, or almost like having the noise of people around when they sleep, they'd be too fearful of that. So I feel like that cat will come in, that cat will go out, and it'll be a bit of disappointment, but I'm feeling that another cat's going to come shortly after that. So that's really interesting. So it's got to be the right cat is what I'm told. And if you can confirm whether you've changed the sleeping arrangements of the cats or what that means to you. It's almost like the position is too windy, or there's sort of like a breeze that gets through under a door, or the side of a door or something like that would bother the cat. Yeah, so that's interesting. Thank you for that. Thanks. A cat a day keeps the doctor away. That's right. So Karen, if you can let me know if that makes sense to you about the cat and the sleeping arrangements of the cat, and why a cat would be fearful of that, because that's a little bit of a strange one to sort of pick up. Okay, so I'm just flicking through the comments as well. So also let me know if you want me to review any other books or cards or audio books. I've basically got a tub of psychic books that I've brought, and some I've read and some I haven't. But if you do have anything in particular, let me know. I was even thinking of starting a sort of like a spiritual book exchange, like when people have read books, if they want to sort of join and forward them to other people, or that sort of thing, or want to receive, like, and not for a monetary purpose, but if someone is sent a book, then someone else sends the book. And it might be that, we have a dozen people in this sort of club, and it might be that one gets sent one, but then someone else sends the other one. So I thought that might be interesting, and I feel like that will work with Spirit. Spirit will send a book that they're meant to receive. Yeah, so book swap sounds good. Okay. Okay, so Karen has said, thank you, that's interesting. I have moved not long after my cat. Okay, yeah. There's still, yeah, beautiful. Because I'm feeling like you're going to have a female bring a cat in. And it's really interesting because was that other cat male? And almost like what I'm picking up is a male cat that it was almost like an older cat, but it had a young energy and could really be like a look at you critically like an old man, but in the next step be really playful. So it's quite an interesting sort of energy. But I'm feeling like his energy was so strong that another cat would sense that around you. So although you've moved to a different place, there's something about that energy of the cat that's still around you a lot. So and you know, cats are quite psychic and can see spirit and feel spirit. So there's something interesting I feel going on around that energy. It's almost like you need to say to your cat that's passed, okay, I want to get another cat. You have to allow that because I want to allow that. Like, don't, you know, make sure it's the best cat for me. Allow the best cat for me to come in. Almost have that conversation with your cat that's passed, and I feel he'll respect that and he'll actually allow that to come through. Oh, it's it's a female. Okay, young energy was 17. Yeah, so that's what I picked up. That's interesting because I'm still picking up. Still feels like a very male energy, like very like, you know, wanting to be the boss. I feel like it's for a young female cat coming in. It almost feels like it's too masculine or too much. I'm in charge. This is my house. Get out. That sort of thing. Even though it's past, it's the energy around you. Does that make sense at all to you, Karen? But I do feel like that's going to be factored into getting the cat. So I like I feel like with the cat rescue websites, you've actually already found one that's suitable, like where you're going to get this cat from. And I feel like you're going to get a young female cat, but it's going to be okay. Great advice. I've noticed a couple of cats in the group of villas. Yes, Samantha had a strong energy still around. Yeah, definitely still around. And she's it just because I'm just being told the alpha male was Samantha. That's just her. And you know, even when she's old, she would sort of rest for a bit, but she would just switch on the you know, the anger or the childlike, or she'd have the energy when she needed it. So yeah, that's really interesting. All right. So yeah, if you're watching from Facebook, please like and share if you'd like a reading. So it looks like I've just had some new people join, and also from YouTube, if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And yes, I do have YouTube videos coming out, so I'm taking a break from that, but I'm getting back on that. And also let me know if you have any preference for the content. So I've got a few videos to edit and upload. I did actually, I was doing that in advance, but I actually lost the contents of a hard drive, which is really awful. I lost a fair amount of work actually, but from the things that I've recovered, I am able to release some more videos, and then I'll be shooting new ones as well. Absolutely. And what did you think of my psychic predictions videos that I did at the start of the year, last year and the year before? Because I did it sort of out of fun, but just also let me know if you want anything like that coming up as well, or if you prefer them as YouTube videos or as streamline guests or that sort of thing. I've met some interesting people in the YouTube community, and some I think would just be hilarious. I'd like to do psychic predictions with people who are not psychic. Probably sounds ridiculous, but to me, it's a bit purer in getting a person to trust their intuition. So that's what I like to do. Yeah, so that's on my YouTube channel, which is Rhonda's Readings. And I do have different playlists on that as well. All right. Hi, Haley from California. Thanks for liking and sharing. So I'll just read Haley's question now. Hi, Rhonda. Might have a reading on how my classes will go this semester for school, please. Thanks. So I am trying out a new deck of cards, Haley, that I've just reviewed for this video. The Energy of the Soul Oracle Cards by Harry T. Okay, so I'm doing card readings. Actually, I'm just picking a card. So, okay, I'm told to pick 2 for you. All right. Interesting. So what I picked up psychically is not to get too comfortable. I feel like you're going to go fine in your classes. But I do feel like you've got a bit of a choice. So card I pulled here is New Beginnings. So that's got the number 36. It's birth, emerging, rejuvenation. There's something about, I want you to try not to choose. Okay, and that's interesting. So there are actually 3 cards I pulled out. So it's New Beginnings and Transformation. So that's change, endings, transition. So I feel like you're going to continue studying the same course, Haley. But I do feel like you're going to possibly change a subject. And I'm feeling that you should go, it's kind of like one's the more stable subject that makes more sense to do, but the other one you find interesting, but you perhaps shouldn't do it or don't know whether you should do it. I'm more drawn to you doing the subject that is newer, because I'm actually feeling like you're going to get quite a lot of benefit from that. There's something a bit more, it's kind of like it's a bit deeper for you to learn. So I do feel like your classes will go well. I'm being told that you need to be sort of open-minded about how you receive the information, which is interesting. But you're quite analytical in the way that you study, and you're quite self-disciplined. I've also got changes around the home. So this is the other card I picked, home. So this is safe haven, warmth, location. And I'm drawn to the word location. I'm feeling like you're going to have to, like you've kind of got your routine of how you're going to go to school and what that means, but I'm feeling like the location is going to change around the home to school. So something's going to change about that, but I actually feel like it'll be a good change, Haley. So I just feel like don't get stuck in the comfort zone. Actually, take a bit of a calculated risk, because I feel like it's actually going to pay off, and I feel like it's going to pay off, Haley, in connections after you finish school. So you've kind of I feel like you've already started getting a reputation in the industry or something like that. So I see that you're kind of trying to make yourself stand out a bit. So thank you for that, Haley. Thanks, Haley, for liking and sharing. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, so Karen, I did post I posted my YouTube channel, Rhonda's Readings, on YouTube. So you will be able to see that this is broadcast on YouTube. It's shared on YouTube. Okay. All right. So we've had some feedback about what to do in my book reviews, and someone else has said review different oracle cards. So yeah, I'm happy to do that. So, but yeah, Harry's oracle cards, in terms of sort of the cost of them, the cost was great through booktopia.com.au. They were on special and had free shipping. Very easy to use. Love the size of them. I find that a few of them sort of are getting stuck together, but it's probably because they're brand new cards. So that's completely fine. And efficiency, that's what I tested today in doing readings. And yeah, they're pretty spot on, actually. And before I came on for the live, I actually did a reading for myself, and it was basically pretty spot on with my what's going on in my life, basically. Who's the stuttering? Who's the person around either Haley or Lisa who sort of stutters, or possibly Karen? Yeah, so thanks for the validation, Haley. Yeah, so that's really interesting. So I'm getting sort of a bit stuttery in my words. Oh, thank you for that. Not you. Okay, thanks, Lisa. All right, so I'm going to do one more reading. So, Reith, if you can like and share the video, thanks. I'll then be able to read you. Yeah, so, okay, so Lisa has said that she'd like to. Okay, thank you, Hayley. So Lisa has said that she'd like to see more reviews of Oracle cards. So I'm happy to do that. And as you know, I've got my Ocean Wings virtual reading room coming up. So you will be able to book and have an online reading with someone. So I am once a week, I'm introducing one of the readers from that reading room. So you've already met Kimberly on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. And next Friday at 12 o'clock, you'll meet Kelly. And Tuesday, 6 o'clock, I'll continue to do live readings. And I'll also be doing a book review once a week. So either Oracle cards or an audio book or a book that I've read. I've got some I've already read that I can talk about, but I'm also trying out the new ones like these Oracle cards that I just brought. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, Ruth. Okay. Also, a lot of synchronicities. That's interesting. Okay, so Karen said, I had a boyfriend who studied and used to work for a doctor who studied back in the 80s. Okay, my guide's laughing at that, Karen. So I feel like there's a connection to that why I started, like as I was talking, I thought, oh my God, am I stuttering? And I don't think I was, but that's the energy that I felt of being anxious about the way I was speaking, because I thought I was stuttering. So there's some message in that for you. It's almost a feeling of deja vu in that. And I know the 80s were a long time ago. But I'm feeling like there's something going on around that reconnection, or no, I don't feel it's going to be a reconnection for you, but a feeling of deja vu. And it's not that you're going to meet a stutterer, but there's something about the connection for that boyfriend. Something is going to be a feeling of deja vu around that connection. And I see you talking about it and laughing about it. I'm not trying to encourage you to laugh at stutterers, but it's almost like something just to get off your chest. And I feel like you'll find it either funnier than it is, or you'll have a bit of a release about that. So that's really interesting for you, Karen. Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, so lots of synchronicities with the name. So that's really interesting. Okay. All right. So Ruth, you're my last reading for this afternoon. Okay. First time. Thank you for joining me and liking and sharing my Facebook page. Okay. First time tuning in with you today. My sister's birthday. She passed in 2007. She made it to her 40th birthday. Passed on mine on the 8th. Any messages? Meaning, yeah. Okay, I'm feeling like you were quite different from your sister. I don't feel like you were twins. I'm not. I just feel like you're sisters, but it's almost like a twin sort of energy in that. I feel like when you felt overwhelmed, your sister calmed you, and when your sister felt overwhelmed, you calmed her. So there's something interesting about that. And I'm. Yeah, so the cards I pulled around that were strength. So that's more about sort of intuition, trusting your intuition and messages you get, because your sister is talking to you. And there's also something about resilience. It's like your sister admires your resilience, Ruth, but I feel almost like look at your sister and think, what would she have done? And, just be a bit careful about that, of getting, like, looking at past loved ones as being the be-all, end-all and giving you the advice that you need, because you've got the answers within you. And I don't feel like she would sort of have got involved or sort of directed you to do a certain thing. Like, I feel like you've done the best that you can do, basically, in situations. And you're also very creative. So I got the creative card. And that's about sort of like expressing yourself. So work out I feel like you're aware when you talk to your sister, and there is a funny, like, if you were to look at books on mediumship and how to communicate with past loved ones, I don't feel like you do any of that. You just do it in your own way. So there's something interesting in about that. And you don't need to kind of like justify it, Ruth, because whatever the connection is, that's beautiful to you. So that's specific to you, basically. So thank you so much. So 12 years apart, but close. Yeah. But it's not, it's more just like the twin thing. It's more sort of the energy. The energy is very, you are very much in alignment. Like you're both creative, both intelligent, both quick-witted. So you're very much in alignment. And it just feels like she was your rock and you were her rock. So that was really interesting. And it's, yeah, it really, really is interesting. So, but yeah, you're definitely already communicating with her, and don't worry that the way you do it is not, it's like it's either not standard, or it's not the traditional way of connecting, because it doesn't really matter how you make a connection, as long as you know you're protected and you feel happy about the connection. That's actually a good thing. Okay, so Ruth said, I had a dream of her the night before I lost my baby daughter. I felt she was trying to warn me. Yeah. So she actually greeted Mackenzie. I actually feel like you've lost two girls, actually, Ruth. Hope that's not too personal. But I'm feeling like your sister basically helped them transition. So that's what she was doing. She was basically there to say, it's okay, I'm looking after your girls. That's what she's saying. And my granddad's just come through. So the way I realized I was a medium was when I was about, I used to have imaginary friends, and used to have a neighbor that I used to see a lot of animals around her. I'd see giraffes, I'd see all animals. So I had a connection with animals as a child in spirit. But when I confirmed that I had mediumship was actually when my grandfather died when I was about 10. He actually, he never used to visit our house. We used to visit his house in Windsor in Melbourne. And one night, I was probably around dinner time, I was just in my bedroom, and then I saw my granddad. And I said, Granddad, what are you doing here? Like, you didn't open the door. What are you doing here? And he said, I'm going away now, Rhonda. You're not going to see me for a long time, not until your hair's my colour, so not until I'm grey. And he said, but I just want to tell you that I'm okay. I'm going away, but I'm still here. And, I love you, all the rest of it. And so that was confirmation that he was okay. So I feel like that was, you got a confirmation like that with your sister. And I feel like your sister did that as confirmation that your girls are okay. Oh, thank you. Beautiful. Yeah, so appreciate it. Means the world to me. And her one miscarried so early. Yeah, it was definitely a little girl. I'm seeing two little girls, and I'm seeing them. It's almost like one had dark hair and one had blonde hair. Like I'm seeing different hair colors between them. But that's okay. But I'm seeing them. It's like they're playing at different ages. So it's similar to you and your sisters. So they're different ages, but they're very similar energetically. Like they're playing together, and it's sweet. So the two little girls are with your sister, so their auntie. And there's also I feel like a grandfather on your mother's side is also with them, and he's just funny. He's got a really funny laugh. He's just laughing. I just feel like the girls, will find things and show him things, and he just laughs. Like there's a lot of joy there, which is beautiful. Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, Ruth. I've lost 3, and it's awful. There's no words for it, really. Yeah, beautiful. So, but yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of calmer, older energy about your two girls and your sister. So, everyone's okay, and they're all together. They just want you to know that. And I feel like your girls play with your ears, like almost like Mummy wants to look at your ears, and like they're playing doctors and nurses and looking inside your ears. So if you feel like someone's poked their finger in your ears, it's actually them playing. They seem to be fascinated with the ears, so I don't know what that is. And I'm also feeling there's a bit of a intuitive thing with them talking to you. Like I feel like you've got psychic ability, Ruth, and mediumship ability, but I'm also feeling that you're going to be able to hear your girls. If you've not already, just look up clairaudience and look at how to sort of develop that ability. You can start. Yeah, but that's okay. Even if they're not a strong connection, or and sometimes it's, they just passed before the child was born or something like that, but they're still in your bloodline, so they've still got that love and that care, and they've still got that connection with you, really. So yeah, that's beautiful. All right, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my review of Harry T's cards. And if Harry ever watches this, I hope I did them justice, but I found them beautiful. They're definitely good value for money. They're really beautiful, attractive cards to use. They're easy to use, perfect size to shuffle, and their messages were very accurate. That was what I was picking up psychically. And so I feel really good about using them, basically. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. No, I won't see you tomorrow. I'll see you. I'll see you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Thank you. Bye.